Yay, I'm streaming. I'm excited. I like streaming.
My cash, yours, you blow through it. I think your child special. You say it's so stupid. I'm pouring my heart out and everything written. You scared you look soft, heart remains hidden. Yo, touch the subject's nerves, I stay hitting. But I ain't better than you, I just think different. Is the glass half full or half empty? It's based on your perspective, quite simply. We're the same and we're not, know what I'm saying? Listen, son, I ain't better than you, I just think different. Is the glass half full or half empty? It's based in your perspective, quite simply. We're the same and we're not, know what I'm saying? Listen, son, I ain't better than you, I just
think different.
My fam run things while you run your jewelry. Yo, my people pop lock, you tough guys pop tools. You rock gems, I drop gems, Xerox copying while I originate material to stimulate. Positive thought patterns when the chosen start gathering, we bar none. Yo, I got jokes, you are one, I'm out doing it. Why you talk about it? I'm constantly in the mix while you walk around it. You try, I do, but why's you clueless? I get the job done, you fella make excuses. I'm a gentleman, your behavior's abusive. Yo, I'm patient, you jump in the gun, false start. You caught up in dress codes, I'll shop at Walmart. Suck out all hard, and you half-hearted. Yo, you suckers for vandals and grab artists. Thought you had the last laugh, but we laugh hardest. Is the glass half full or half empty? It's based on your perspective, quite simply. We're the same and we're not, know what I'm saying? Listen, son, I ain't better than you, I just think different. Is the glass half full or half empty? It's based in your perspective, quite simply. We're the same and we're not, know what I'm saying? Listen, son, I ain't better than you, I just think different.
Hey, Big Daddy.
Body parts, I connect mentally with my female counterpart before we bound physically. Cats are chill with rap about revolution while you rap about drug abuse and distribution.
How's my day so far? Amazing. Thank you for asking. How's your day been?
My queen's hard to obtain and yours is
Easy.
Both from Maryland, but we rep in DC. We all front sometimes. That's how one sees me. My word is bond and yours is worthless. You're mainstream, I'm beneath the surface. I stay working hard while you hardly working. All you want is money and your dicks up. Are you certain? Yo, I want a better world before I seize the living. Put faith in myself, not the system. Yo, we trying to travel, so why you taking pit stops? You cats rap, and I'm
Hip hop.
Is the glass half full or half empty?
Pretty chilled on this side. That's great news. BD. BDS.
Know what I'm saying? Listen, son, I ain't better than you, I just think different. Is the glass half full or half empty? It's based in your perspective, quite simply. We're the same and we're not, know what I'm saying? Listen, son, I ain't better than you, I just think different.
This is a terrifying advertisement, which is hilarious. Okay, what's next? Oh yeah, Instagram. I'm gonna do an Instagram post advertising the stream. Where is phone? Hello, phone. Maybe no moon. Trippy picture. Hello, tracksuit Johnny. No more Tao. No more Tao allowed. Sad? No, it's fun. That's good. Have you read the CIA UFO dump? I already knew it all before they released it, so didn't need to check it out. That's a joke. I'm joking. No, I haven't checked it out. Your name and avatar is hilarious, Johnny. Like, who is this mysterious character? I'm a fan. This strange fella. You mentioned you got energy Kundalini shifts multiple times a day for a few years. How did those work? Like, did they happen any time? They're still happening, and they've been happening for 7 years. And it's like it's ramping up, but it was like 3 to 7 times per day usually, but it's more like 3 to 10 times per day these days. And we turned on the tunes. It's basically so like, okay, it's up to me, I guess. Yeah, it's kind of like I have like a whole perspective. Well, I'll draw it. I'm gonna draw it. It's fun. So like, there's like me, and then there's like my perspective. And my perspective is like fundamentally composed of a bunch of like conceptual views, basically. And those conceptual views like partition the perception into, for example, like these ones are like an observer, and then these ones are an observed. These ones are observed. And it partitions it into stuff like this is like space. Like this stuff is space. And then this stuff isn't space. This stuff isn't space. And then it's like I don't know, like this is a person, and then this stuff isn't a person. And then this stuff isn't a person. And there's also me, right? So like I'm like the product of this thing. So like if you look at this, like this is me, and like the way I am, my personality, like in some sense this is hardwired, like biologically. Like there's parts of my body which have these perceptual elements in them, and that's energy. So energy is like the bodily, like physicality of perception. So yeah, pretty much continuous mega dosing, but naturally. So what happens is, like 3 to 7 times per day, I'll just be doing whatever. Most of the time I go for a walk and have them, but sometimes I can just be sitting here and having one. I have them on the stream all the time. And there's like different levels. There's different levels to the transformation. So like I could just like close my eyes and it's just like a mental transformation. So like this energy gets released and like, you know, one duality is removed. Like no longer is like some stuff green and some stuff not green. Like some stuff an observer, some stuff not an observer. Now like there's no distinction between any of them in that way. And I like the way that looks. I just close my eyes. I can't talk during it, but I can just pretend I'm meditating, and then I open them. And I'm like, whoa, fucking hell, this is extremely different. So I open my eyes. My perception's completely changed, very fundamentally. And I've also had a big energetic biological shift. But like there's also different levels to it. So sometimes my body can just like shake like a shitload. And then that'll be the release. Yeah, I don't lose consciousness. I've never lost consciousness. Sometimes I can lose control of my body, so like my whole body is gonna shut down. My whole body's gonna shut down. And then I like just can't move. And sometimes my whole body is just like doing this completely uncontrollably. So there's like different levels to it, and it occurs at different parts of the body. So like if it's a full body experience, then I'm gonna be going like completely mental. If it's just like maybe just here, then I'm gonna be going like this, because it's like pulsating around the thing. And if it's like here, then I'm gonna be going like this, right? I'm gonna be like that. And like every single time, it basically gets rid of this whole thing, and gets rid of this whole thing too. Every single time, these things are just now completely gone. And now all of a sudden, it's like, hello, this is me now. And this is like organized in a different way, and it's just completely different. So like 3 to 7 times per day, I get like a boom experience where this goes all fucked, and then I come out and I'm just a different person with a different perception. Yeah. Are those literal perception changes or more like feeling? Literal perception changes. Like it's associated, like I can get like extremely different visuals. I can get different visuals. But generally, like the way I look at everything is different. Everything looks different. Everything just completely looks different. In a very, like, usually difficult to understand way. And like my body will be operating with less of like a self. So like things would be like moving, like my body would just be walking around. And there wouldn't be like a person here as much anymore. Or, like, everything that I thought was, like, stable is going to be going like this. It's going to be all wibbly. Yeah. Did you had acid experiences? I did a lot of shrooms after about 6 years on the path, Rodrigo. And it went really, really well when I dedicated the trip for the benefit of all sentient beings. And it went kind of okay otherwise. Hello, Amanda. Thank you for the love. Hi, Michelle. Thank you for the hearts. Hi, Anna. Oh, it's Anna. Hi, Anna. Another heart, yeah. You're scared of that and excited at the same time? It's always been good for me. You know, I've never had a bad experience with it. Even though it seems really scary and all this stuff. At the end of it, I've always felt better. So coming out of it with my new reorganized perception and being, it's always felt like less suffering. Like, I'm suffering less now. Yeah, is it ever painful? Never. Well, painful. I mean, pain's very complicated, right? It's like there's so many different kinds of pain. The kind of pain that it is never feels like suffering. That was a really intense explanation. Yeah, I tried acid once, and it was kind of shitty acid, and it was really great. I really liked it, but it wasn't. I wanna do just like a fuckload of acid. I wanna just like die when I'm able to, when I can afford it. Have you ever read into those positions you can put yourself that cause involuntary shaking to release negative energy? I haven't read into it, TJ, but I have done it. I think fear is just of losing control in public. I have some control with it, BDS. Like, I can kind of, I know it's coming. I know kind of the intensity of it. I kind of know how much control I'm gonna lose or not. So like, if I'm on a walk, then I can just like, oh, I know it's coming and I know it's gonna be big, and so, okay, let me just take a sit on this bench. And then I take a sit on the bench and I'm like, I'm good now. So, it's not so bad. One time I was walking at night around the city, and I just completely, I got just like boomed out. I got like orbital nuked by an alien. Ignore that. And then I like leaned against the lamppost, and I was like, ah, fuck, I like just couldn't move at all. And I was just like staring, and everything was going like this. And two policemen started walking up. And they were just like walking up to me, like looking at me. And then they like stopped me while I was just like completely fed, and they were like, "You alright?" And I went, "Yeah." And they were like, "Alright." And then they just walked on. And I was like, that was really nice of them to check up on me. Maybe I'll just tell stories on the stream for that one. I like telling stories. A Dutch scientist observed animals and children shaken after escaping being chased. and then realize adults learn not to do it so as to not appear weak. That sounds kind of bullshit, J-Risk, but also kind of true. More? More? More! It's like throwing things at me. More! Play more now! More! Tell more stories. That was entertaining. Oh. No, I didn't play more Tao anymore, Rogue Wiki, because of you! I was gonna play it. And then I saw your comment, I was like, nah. I'm not gonna fucking play it anymore. And you did that. The upshot is that we all hold physical trauma that can be released via involuntary shaking. Yeah, that's a good upshot. I like that. I mean, I physically shake all the time. I can do it right now. I wonder if this still works. I haven't done this in a while. I can do it kind of like... feel like this. See I'm shaking? Oh. Oh my god, that feels great. I feel really relaxed. That was good. But tracksuit Johnny, you're talking about? Yeah. How I warm up for ranked? Just close your eyes for like 5 minutes. One day I see you play more time, the next I see you talking about weird spiritual stuff. What happened? You should go and look at the YouTube timeline. I was making videos, and then I made a YouTube video, and I was like, I'm leaving Mordhau. And that was after 3 months of not uploading. And then I uploaded, like, and then for like a couple months, I was just uploading random shit. And then I got enlightened, and I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna make videos about that. It's not like that, Paralyzed Tortoise. You need to study up on your Hanjo lore. You're spreading lies. I made like several warning videos. I was like, I'm gonna upload random stuff that you're not gonna like. Like, unsubscribe now. I told people to unsubscribe. So you're to blame, is what I'm saying. You are not diligent. What do you mean enlightened? So, in spirituality, there's a path. And on that path, there's enlightenment. And this is like the gold medal of spirituality. If you get to here, then you've done an amazing job. Yeah, it's like the Olympics. It's like you're the top 0.0000001%. And you've achieved something that like Buddha and like Jesus did. So I was on the spiritual path for like 7 years, and then I got to here, and now I'm past here. And generally, once you get past here, like you have a pretty good understanding of spirituality, so it's like okay to teach it. You feel like the energy perception shifts happened on their own accord in some way? But like sometimes, regardless of my efforts, my spiritual energy and conscience does its own thing when it wants to. Absolutely, BDS. But I would actually put it in a slightly different way to that. In my opinion, the human body is kind of like a shell for different entities to pass through. And the body is actually... Yeah, absolutely, Paradise Tortoise. So the body is kind of like, it's got these connection points for different energetic beings to enter it and use it. And they're in different areas of the body. So the way that I see it isn't that sometimes you're doing your own thing and sometimes you're not. I say that it's always a being entering through one of your connection points, expanding to the size of your energetic field and making changes, and then leaving. And there's different beings. There's different access points in your body. The human body is kind of like a shell for different energies to fill. What do you define enlightenment as? I'll send it to you, Paradise Tortoise. But it's the I use the non-duality model. Non-duality model, MCTB. And there's another part here. Where is it? Turn back and see, maybe? Here it is. You can leave now, Mr. Table of Contents. Okay, let's make it wider. All that is necessary is that there be no perceiver or perceived when you perceive, no hearer or heard when you hear, no thinker or thought when you think. Yeah. Hello, Felix. Really keen on this idea of you doing a collab with Frank. Me too, J-Risk. He's a busy guy. Maybe you should message him, you know? No, probably not. I probably don't want a bunch of people messaging Frank about it. It's pretty bad. But yeah, I'm interested. I'm sure it's gonna happen. Just a matter of time. And also, like, you know, coincidence. Enlightened beings are very busy. And it's like, even though it may seem like, oh, we can just, like, arrange a call and, like, do something. It's kind of like this. It's like... So, like, this is me. And this is Frank. And we kind of need these waves to like sync up, because there's these waves are coming out all the time, and they're super impactful. So for like for us to have a chat, what we kind of need to happen is like this, and that's just gonna you need like a certain moon arrangement and stuff. You need like Mars to be visible in the sky or something. I'm joking. But yeah, it's gonna be tough. Do you think dreams have any significance on the path? I sometimes have really vivid and trippy awakening dreams, and sometimes the texture of waking life starts to feel the same as in those dreams, almost like deja vu vibes. Absolutely, BDS. This is absolutely a thing. This is something that you should trust. This is something that you should continue developing and expanding on. This is something that happens to me. This is great. Was that a joke about astrology, or do you think there's any legitimacy to it? I mean, it's kind of hilarious thinking that there wouldn't be legitimacy to it. You know, we're beings on a planet, and we're very small. And then there's all these planets moving around, and they're very big. And, like, everything's interdependent. So there's actually just, like, billions of planets all over the universe, all moving around. And, like, stars moving around, and, like, gravity shifting, like, black holes being made. So like the idea that like those forces wouldn't somehow affect humans when they're so massive is ridiculous. Just how arbitrary birth signs are, etc. the people who I know who are into astrology, like the moon, like there's an astrological event, and after the astrological event, they just can't move for like a week. Like they just get like energetically taken out. Like they just can't move, or they're like their entire energy shifts. So I think different people have attunement to the kinds of forces that are just moving around in the universe all the time. And it's definitely real. And it definitely affects people in a really fundamental and significant way. Which should be respected. And like, their experience matters. And I think it affects me too, it's just I don't really pay attention to it. And I think it affects everyone, it's just they don't really pay attention to it. It's a sensitivity thing, it's like... Everything is kind of a sensitivity thing. It's like, if you're sensitive to this stuff, then it's going to affect you, and if you're not, then it's not. And a lot of people kind of pretend to be sensitive to it, and follow the culture of it, and they're not. And a lot of people are affected by it, and they don't even know that's what's happening. And a lot of people are affected by it, and know what's happening, and think everyone else is like, oh, these fucking guys, because they're pretending. So yeah, I think it's a very real thing. What's your birthplace, date, and time? I want to look up your chart. I feel like I shouldn't reveal this information publicly. I'll DM you, Hans. I'll DM you. Message me on Instagram or Twitter or something, and I'll get back to you. Sadhguru is a fucking fraud bullshitter, Kieran. Everything he says should be ignored. Hello, Krimasia A. Nice to see you. On the stream. What makes you say that? I can just tell. And you can just tell too. If you look at... Okay, I say this every stream. Those are the spiritual teachers that I consider legit. There are other ones too. But if you look at those people, look at how they move, look at how their eyes move. Then go look at how Sadhguru moves, and look at how his eyes move. It's just different. It's completely different. It's completely different. It's just completely different. It's obvious that it's completely different. So, yeah. Are there any celebrities here on Island? I haven't checked. Maybe you could if you give me a name, I can just check energetically. Why are they the standard? Because they're enlightened. First, what do you think of Anna Brown? Ooh, fun. This is always a part of the stream, is where I check if people are enlightened. And thanks, Chloe. Wow, Chloe gave me a nice comment on Instagram. Thanks, Chloe. No, Jim Carrey's not enlightened. Chill. Enlightenment is the gold medal of spirituality. You have to be a fucking beast. Anna Brown. Anna Brown's spirituality. He's not the same level. There's only one level. There's no other levels. Okay. Holy shit, there's a non-duality subreddit. I should post on this. What the fuck? Oh no. Maybe it's fine. Maybe it should be good.
You see? Spirit or soul, who we truly are, self with a capital S, is not in stress hormones. It's not worrying. It's not freaking out. It's not trying to figure out what it needs to create next.
I like her a lot. She's great. Really cool BDS. Thanks for showing me Anna. No, I don't play Mordhau anymore, Krimu, Masya. I'm glad you like the tutorials, and I'm glad I helped you grow. But yeah, I quit, unfortunately. Anna Brown's great. I like Anna Brown. She does a fucking donate link right in the PayPal. I should probably do that. I'm gonna add a donate link to my stuff too. That's a good idea. She has her email there too. This is great. I need to remember this. Eckhart Tolle, no, just no. No. Let me have a look at him. Maybe I'm wrong. I'll double check. She enlightened? She got something going on. Ugh, fuck off with your giant bell sound.
Primarily, your mind and sense perceptions. In the Bhagavad Gita, there is the analogy of the wild horses that are drawing the carriage.
I can't. He's okay. He's okay. He's okay. It's kind of... Yeah, he's okay. It's kind of like this with him. This is all enlightened. This is all enlightened. And then there's like, what the fuck is this thing? Why isn't this... What the fuck? What's going on here? There's nothing going on here. This is weird. So he's okay. I give Eckhart an okay. He's an okay. Anna Brown's better. Anna Brown's better. And all of those guys are listed are better. But he's okay. Yeah, he's okay. My dad's doing some work in the upstairs room. The late Osho, what vibes did you get from him? That's a great question, BDS. This is... I mean, I don't mind this being a part of the stream. It's just, I don't know. Fair enough, I guess. Most people aren't honest about this stuff, I guess, so it's kind of... I'm kind of a useful resource, because most people are like, no, they're all great, because I want to be friends with them, and I care about being popular. Fuck you, if you think that. I hate you. Hey, Osho. It's entertaining. I'm glad it's entertaining. how many bridges can I burn is the challenge.
Philosophy, this is the consequence of being silent.
Is it to enjoy life and not worry about tomorrow?
There is no tomorrow.
Ugh.
If there is tomorrow, you cannot stop worrying about it. Tomorrow never comes.
Is there a better...
Find men, you will find cockroaches, and wherever you will find cockroaches, you will find men. They go together. They have a similarity.
Ugh.
Even in a far away places like North Pole or South Pole, when men travel to those places, he found suddenly that he has brought cockroaches with him. And they are perfectly healthy and living and reproducing end of the world.
The way I see this guy, I don't know how famous he is, by the way. The way I see this guy, it's like he's doing concentration meditation all the time. It's kind of like, what's his name? Fucking, is it the Dalai Lama? It's kind of like Dalai Lama. Fucking Dalai Lama. Only 11 waiting. The Dalai Lama. It's fucked up.
Videos to see them.
No way to overcome.
No, he's way better. Dalai Lama's way better than Osho. Yeah, I don't know. Osho is he's just there's something bad. There's something bad. There's something stinks. There's something stinks, but it has no smell, and it's like, what the fuck is that? But I can't tell what it is. So they spent my whole life under the assumption that mind emerges from matter. Non-dual teachings have made me question this. Well, there is no mind, man. I mean, if you want the non-dual, I mean, there's no mind. There's no mind. There's no mind. There's just no mind. There's 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 no mind. There you go. There's no mind. There's no mind. What the fuck is mind? What is mind? There's no mind. Yeah. What do you think of Colin Murphy? Sorry, Karen. Yeah, you did. I missed this. My conditioning. Do you have what conditioning? You know what I mean? Like what? This man is having sex with many women. What the fuck is this?
When you transcend this, you transcend evil.
This is just a random fucking guy. This isn't even a thing. Conditioning being years of academic study. Oh, okay, I see what you mean now, J-Risk. Connor's a friend of Frank Yang's. Seems nice. Seems like a nice guy. I don't know. Girl a lot YouTube. Ariana Reflects. Yeah, my friend Shiva Stand on Instagram at Shiva Stand. Only go there if you're willing to see him. It mentioned that she was enlightened. I was like, oh, cool. But I don't know if she is. I haven't checked it out. I think she was. I don't know. Okay, I'm getting a little worn out on evaluating the spiritual attainments of people. Conditioning being years of academic study. Yeah, this is tough, J-Risk. I would say this, J-Risk. You're kind of looking at it the wrong way. It's like, you're like, oh, like, this is like your brain. This is like your intellect. And you're like here. And you're like, man, this intellect thing isn't letting me see, like, reality. Like, this just isn't, this, like, whenever, like, this just isn't letting me see reality. Whenever I go, like, I can't, this just doesn't work. It's like, none of this is working. But what you should be doing is going like this. Why don't you try it? Why don't you find out? Yeah. Yeah. It's okay, J-Risk. I think I gave you a thing though, and it's like, hey, like that thing is the thing, you know? I gave you the thing. That's the thing. There's no other thing. That's the only thing. I'll rewatch it timeline. It might work. Right. Why do some people realize instantly and some not? I think everyone realizes instantly, Hans. I don't, like, all of the people that I've listed in my list of people that are actually good realize instantly. I think. I mean, I haven't asked them. I should probably ask Michael Taft. I mean, Kenneth Folk is also should be on the list. Kenneth Folk's great. Yeah, I haven't asked Michael Taft or Daniel Ingram directly what their enlightenment experience was like, but I'm pretty sure it was. I'm sure it was instant. Yeah, all of the Zen masters that I know were all instant. Appreciate you adjusting my craze right now. No problem, J-Risk. I'm happy to do it for free. I don't mind. This is why I'm alive. I'm alive for enlightenment stuff. So. I mean, the moment they hear about enlightenment to the point they get it. It's because they have many past lives where they were more attuned to it. Yeah. What's some of the funnest, most memorable moments along your 7-year path? A wild question. It's too much, man. It's too much stuff. How are my eyes moving like that? That's so weird. You see how my eyes are moving? It's so strange. I mean, a lot of these memories are just me, like, going through a really intense non-conceptual experience that's really hard to express. And it's amazing. So it's kind of hard to... It's like, all of the non-conceptual experiences I had, obviously, were the most fun and memorable. It's quite hard to express with it, but like, yeah, usually there's some kind of amazing vision happening, and there's also a huge transformation, and there's also energy moving, and I'm in some kind of like, I'm in a place, and I'm looking at stuff. Sometimes I'm not looking at stuff. Most of the time I'm looking at stuff. Yeah. Just a shitload of those. Yeah, just me in different places at different times of my life, like having big enlightenment experiences. But I don't think the stories are that interesting. It's like I was at a place and I was having a big energetic movement and an enlightenment experience. And like I lost control of my body in like a funny way. That's pretty much every story. One time, okay, Alex, I'll tell the story. Okay, so I was at this, I was on holiday with my parents and my grandparents. And we went to like a place in the UK. And at the time, I was really into Lisa Carnes. I was like going to like every weekly live stream, and I was super excited about it. And I was getting a big energetic movement in my chest. And at the same time, I was going through really big perceptual changes, like huge perceptual shifts. It was one of my like big, like there's different times in my life where these perceptual shifts are like deeper and wider and stronger. I'm in one right now, and I was also in one then. And maybe I'll be in this one forever. Who knows? And like the bigger and deeper and wider, you know, the more like physical effects on my body. And like we were just kind of like hanging out at the table at dinner, and I just collapsed. I just like went like boom, lost control of my body. And they were like, "Oh my god, he fell asleep." And they all thought like I was so tired that I fell asleep. And then I like came out of it and I was like, yeah, super tired. Because I'm like conscious while it was happening. I was like, yeah, I'm like super tired. I'm gonna go to bed. And I like went to bed and just like had this huge like enlightenment thing happen. Yeah, so it was funny. It was funny because they were like, "Ah, he's sleeping." It's like, yeah, fucking sleeping. Yeah. Yeah. I'm not much of a... I know. I have lots of things like this. All this stuff happens all the time. Plenty of times, Hans, because they have no idea what the fuck's happening all the time. I haven't really shared it with them, to be honest. They don't seem super receptive when I talk about it. Your family get it. They're very supportive, J-Risk. They're very supportive. But it's also like, if your son's getting enlightened, it's kind of hard to understand. They're just normal people. They don't understand. They never meditated. You know, they don't know who the Buddha is. They probably know his name. You know, they don't pray. You know, they're not religious at all. So they're just, I don't know, they're just very supportive. They're like, ah, he's going through something. And I'm like, ah, and everything's going like this. And I'm like, ah, all the time. Yeah. I have a partner, Jess, and she gets it. And we have great chats. She's my like social lifeline to not being a complete recluse and people understanding me and feeling like I have friends. So she's my best friend and my partner. On Twitter. Yeah, the funny thing about that time where my grandparent, it was my nan. She was like, "Oh, he's just sleeping." It's like, see, if you see someone like collapse like that, it's like, how do you rationalize that as like an 80-year-old person? It's like, wow, he must have collapsed from exhaustion. It's like that's the only explanation that works. So like that was the understanding. I thought it was fun. How does shift to enlightenment from non-enlightenment influence your social life? Stuff like social anxiety, anger? That's a great question, Hans. I've been working... So there's... The way it works is like this. And this is a model. So models are hard, right? So this is me. I'm a strange alien creature. On my hand is an eye. And there are no fingers. Anyway, so yeah, the way that it works is there's 7 upper chakras. Root, sacral, solar plexus. Heart, missed the heart. Bro, third eye, crown. And when these ones change, like different things happen in like a very fundamental, spiritual, energetic way. So it's like when your heart chakra opens, you like love everyone. So that's been really great for my social life because I just love everyone now. Like throat, you can speak truth more. Root, you can act truthfully more. Sacral, you connect truthfully more. Solar plexus, you want truthfully more. Maybe, I don't know. I'm not very good at solar plexus. Third eye, you see truthfully more. And crown chakra, you are truthfully more. So like, if you want to improve at like truth in the world, like the upper chakras are the shifts. But then there's also lower chakras. So there's hips, thighs, knees, calves, ankles, top of feet, and bottom of feet. Top of feet and bottom of feet. And in the hips is fear, thighs is anger. So these lower chakras are like emotional chakras, like social chakras. They're where your behavior is related to like normal everyday life. Normal everyday life, it's all in these chakras. So like, so let's say like I got rid of a bunch of fear blocks from my hips, or like processed it. Like in my everyday life, I would act less fearfully. So like, if before like I would never go to the grocery store because I was afraid of COVID, all of a sudden I would start going to the grocery store. Thighs anger is like where you push anger energy. So like I would be less angry if I worked through stuff like this. Insecurity, I would be less insecure. Confusion, selfishness, shadow self is top of the feet. Malice is bottom of the feet. So enlightenment was actually a shift outside of the chakras. Enlightenment's kind of like, you go like this. You go from this to this. And it's outside of the chakras. But it's been associated with a lot of chose in all of these chakras. And my most recent work has been changing these lower body chakras. And by changing these lower body chakras, and also just like general enlightenment stuff, like, but mostly these lower body chakras, I've been acting a lot better socially, in my opinion. It's just more smooth, it's better. Like, there's less friction with people. It's more automatic, you know, I'm nicer. All this stuff. So I'd say, like, if you want to, like, to improve my social life, like, most of it was in these lower body chakras, but then a lot of it's, you know, like, heart chakra helped a lot. So, yeah. Hopefully that answers your question. Do you think there are everyday things, experiences, which are more spiritual than we recognize societally? I actually did a list of these on my Twitter, I think. Maybe this was on my old Twitter. This tweet's hilarious. How can one work on these chakras? £100 an hour for my energy coaching sessions, J-Risk. Okay, I guess it was on my old account. I'd say everything's significantly more mysterious, non-conceptual, and spiritual than is recognized societally. And there's this weird flip at the moment in the world, which is like there's this word brain, and it's like a shared hallucination of thoughts between everyone. Where everyone thinks like the same thing. Everything's the same thing. Everything's in dualities, so everything's in dualities. Yeah, for sure, Darius. Everything's in dualities. And everything's like this, yeah, this weird, like fucked up shared hallucination that makes no goddamn sense. And then there's the non-conceptual reality that's always been there. And like, for some reason, this is the primary thing, and this is like the thing that you get when you get enlightened. And it should be the other way around, because this is just a bunch of, like, this is horseshit. Like, this is all terrible. This sucks. This all sucks. And this is great, down here. Enlightenment gets rid of suffering, but you still work and improve on life socially, etc., but with a lot less attachment and suffering. Absolutely, hands. Yeah, that's pretty much it. After enlightenment, everything's better. Everything's easier. Everything's faster. Everything's more good because you're suffering less. It's like if you had like a leg cut off for your whole life, or like a big like fucking like cut wound in your leg your whole life, and then that healed. Like, it's a lot easier to live all of a sudden. It's pretty much the same thing. Yeah. Yeah, Jerisk, I was kind of being a cunt with my answer about how to work on the chat quiz, but like, the reason I said it the way I did is because in my experience, telling people about energy stuff doesn't help, but being in a voice call or video chat with me, and me directly helping you with lots of fucking energy, intentionally, does help. And like, that seems to be the only way that actually helps people, like, realize their energy body, is if I just, like, fucking boom you with a bunch of energy and tell you where everything is, like, one-on-one. And that's very, like, that's difficult for me, because when I'm doing that, I'm feeling the same thing as you at the same time. And it's tough. So I charge money. I would do it for free. I did it for free for a while, and I was like, nah, this is like, this is too much of a physical toll to do for free. Anyway. And one day take it, well, it's up to you. Were primitive humans enlightened? There's this person on Twitter called Wild Budini, and she thinks so, and I believe her. So yeah, I think so, yeah. It's a lot more complicated than that, so I'm directing you to the expert. Like, this is an expert at that thing. It's like, I could answer it, but I'm not the expert. Did you follow the progress of insight chart at any point of your path? Every time I look at it, I can't get into it. Yeah, I did BDS. It was pretty useful. I was like, oh, that's why I feel disgust every like, couple of weeks. Or every couple of days. Like, that's why I feel miserable. For no reason. And that's why I feel terrified. That makes sense. Thank you, Fabio. That's really nice. I really appreciate that. Do you do magic stuff? Yeah, I do magic stuff. I do indeed. I know I'm living in it, self-imposed suffering, but I can't see how to escape. I gave you the diagram, Jerisk. This has been a very taxing stream, but I've liked it. It's been a lot of hard work explaining difficult things to a willing audience. But yeah, I've done a lot of work this stream. This was hard. This was difficult. I would have preferred to sleep, but I'm so dedicated to benefiting all beings and making money. Yeah. Really appreciate it, no problem. More and more, I'm no, you're not, J-Risk. No, you're not. You're fine. You're great. She was giving me thanks, no problem. But yeah, more and more, the sense I'm getting is like, what I'd like to do is probably just be in bed all day and like kind of meditate and go in and out of sleep and do astral projection and stuff. And like anything that isn't that is kind of difficult and hard to do. And I don't think that's going to change. I think that might be just the reality. It's like, if I'm moving around my body and awake and like doing things in real world, it's hard and difficult and bad and suffering. But suffering, you know, everything's suffering. What can you do? Alright guys, this is going to be the end of the stream. I really appreciate everyone tuning in and watching the video. I know you, and I know you fucking watched the video. You think I didn't know? You thought I thought that this was live? You're watching the video, and I knew you would, David. Okay, yeah. So I'm gonna end the stream. I hope you stay. Yeah. Bye. Bye. We're gonna wave out. Can I do like a slow fade out? Probably not. Oh, I think I can.